Well, I'd like to give my 2 cents on the ship of Theseus philosophical concept. Um, and keep in mind that I am actually working on a class that discusses this, and part of my project for this class is to discuss this concept. And I have taken the side that a lot of people disagree with, actually. It's the very unpopular side, which is kind of why I took it, because I just wanted to see if I could make sense out of something that others don't see, and I perhaps didn't even see myself, because when I first heard of the concept, I disagreed with the point that I have now. And so I thought about the point, and I said, okay, well, both sides have some very valid claims, so let's see if I can make the other side, as in the side I'm on now, the more valid claim. So the story goes like this. There is this ship. Let's say the ship is composed of 100 planks, and there's a ship, Theseus' ship, and he's a Greek character, and he goes out and he slays this beast on this ship with all of his crewmates, and then he comes back. And to commemorate the ship and to commemorate the great voyage that he was on, they put the ship, the Greeks, the Grecians, put the ship into a museum, and it stays there. Now, over time, it's the wooden planks of the ship erode and rot away, and so the museum, they replace the planks one by one. And at what point is it still the original ship? So let's say they replace one plank a week, for simplicity's sake. After 100 weeks, it is it is the same ship, one would argue, which I'm going to argue against. It is the same ship, composed of an entirely different set of planks. So when is it no longer the ship of Theseus? Does the plank matter? Does the form matter? Or is it more about the concept of it? Like, is the ship of Theseus still the ship of Theseus, even if none of the original planks are composing the original ship, or I guess the new ship? And I'm putting quotation marks, and I'm trying to like dance around certain words and phrases that I use, because if I use the wrong phrase, you can mess up either side's argument and either side's claim. So I want to be as specific as possible, so I might take a couple seconds to think about the words that I'm saying. Not to say that I don't, because I like to pause to think, but either way. Okay, so the idea behind it is that it's, for me at least, I don't think it is the same ship after one plank is removed. If you replace one plank of the ship of Theseus, and now you have 99 of the original planks and one new plank, I don't think it's the same ship. And I want to address a couple reasons why I don't think it's the same ship. First off, I think if you were to say that after one plank is removed, it is the same ship, you're making an arbitrary claim that it doesn't matter the composition of the ship, because it will always be the same ship no matter how many planks are removed. For example, you remove one plank, sure, it's the same ship. If you remove 10 planks, is it the same ship? You might say yes. A lot of people will say yes to that. If you remove 50 planks, now it's 50% new plank, 50% old plank. Is it the same ship? If you remove 60 planks, if you remove 85, if you remove 99 planks, is it the same ship? If you have the ship of Theseus, you remove 99 and you remove and replace 99 planks, and you have one original plank, 99 new replacement planks, is it the ship of Theseus, or is it just a ship that is reminiscent and has the form and resembles the ship of Theseus? I don't know. I don't think it is the same ship, and I want to make that claim, because to me it's like an all or nothing that happens, where if you say that after removing one plank it is still the same ship, then you have to say that after removing 51 planks it is still the same ship. Because it's not about the number of planks, it's about the concept in general. If you remove something, does the identity of that thing remain the same? So I have a couple of examples here that I would like to cite. I'm reading off of a couple notes that I wrote down about this concept. So let's say you have a ball of dough, of bread dough, and you roll it into a certain shape. Let's say you roll this dough into a long cylindrical shape, and that dough is called the dough of Luke. Fitting, right? That dough is the dough of Luke. That shape, that dough is the dough of Luke. If you use a rolling pin and you roll out that dough and you make it completely flat and then you mold it back, you knead it back into a sphere, is it the dough of Luke or is it just the same dough in a different form? It's not the dough of Luke anymore, it's just dough. Same as how the ship of Theseus is no longer the ship of Theseus after you remove things and change its form. However, it is the same, it is a ship. It is not the same ship. Alternatively, or I guess additionally, let's say this dough of Luke is being held together by a bunch of poppy seeds, right? Let's say this dough is like 90% dough or whatever, and there's a bunch of poppy seeds in this dough, and this is the dough of Luke. If you were to take every single poppy seed out and put in sesame seeds of the exact same size, the exact same proportion, different seed, but the exact same size and proportion, and it holds the dough properly again, and it's the same shape, let's say it's still the cylindrical shape. Again, if you remove the poppy seeds and you replace them with sesame seeds, is it still the dough of Luke? Well, I don't think so. I don't think you can make that claim because the dough of Luke has specific properties as in form and matter, right? The form of the dough, which is what I was addressing earlier, if you roll it out, it no longer has the same form. It is no longer that dough. Additionally, matter. The seeds themselves, the poppy seeds, it is a different matter than the sesame seed, so it is not the same object. If we can agree on that, then I can add to that by saying, let's say you remove all of the poppy seeds, and let's say the poppy seeds come from France, right? And you remove of the original dough of Luke, and you remove all of the poppy seeds, and you replace these seeds with poppy seeds that come from Spain, for example. Is it the same dough? Is it still the dough of Luke? And by the way, dough of Luke isn't a recipe, it is that specific dough. Is it still the dough of Luke if you remove all of the French poppy seeds and you replace them with Spanish poppy seeds? Again, I don't think it is the same thing. I think there's an arbitration to it, and if you make that arbitration, then it's all or nothing. If you don't make that arbitration, which I don't want to do, I don't want to make it an all or nothing thing. I think, well, I guess it is an all or nothing thing, but I don't want to make the claim that if you remove one thing, it's still the same thing, because it is not. It still resembles that thing that you removed, but it is not the same thing. So yeah, those are the analogies that I like to make to describe why I think the ship of Theseus, after you remove one plank, it is no longer the ship of Theseus. Again, like, you can make the same analogy here. If you were to remove one of the French planks in the ship of Theseus and replace it with a Spanish plank, is it still the ship of Theseus? Or the Greek plank, is it still the ship of Theseus? No. It resembles the ship of Theseus, but it is not the same ship. Okay, but let's say you're not sold on that, right? Let's say and validly so, because a lot of people may not be sold on that. And these are the claims that I want to make based on how I think about the situation, but a lot of people don't agree with me. Many people don't, but either way. So let's say you had the ship of Theseus, and you have one plank left on the ship of Theseus, right? There's only one plank left. All the other planks have been discarded and burned. There's only one of the original planks. And now you have another ship that is the exact same shape as the ship of Theseus, the exact same form of the ship of Theseus, but it's missing a plank. So you take that plank from the ship of Theseus and you put it into this other ship that has the form of the ship of Theseus. Is that now the ship of Theseus? What do you think? I don't think it is. Obviously, you know that I don't think it is. But I want to hear what you think about that. I think it can't be the same ship of Theseus because it doesn't have the original matter. Although it has the form, I think you can't decouple the form from the matter. Those things are intertwined. Form and matter are what composes the identity of an object. The identity of a capital O object, not an object, because again, it is still a ship. It is still a ship that resembles the ship of Theseus. I'm not saying it's not a ship. I'm saying it's not the ship of Theseus. So yeah, that's how I feel about that, and I want to hear what you guys want to say about that. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Let me know if you think there's a claim that I'm not making for my argument, and let me know if there's a claim that I'm not addressing in my. Actually, I will address a couple things, and these things, they're tough to address. These are some very difficult concepts to work around and to argue against, because there is some sound reasoning with these claims. The first one would be, let's say humans, for example. You shed your cells, or I guess after every 7 years, all of the cells in your body replace themselves, right? After every 7 years, every single cell has died and has been replaced by a new cell. So every 7 years, are you the same person? Are you still that? Am I still Luke? Am I the same Luke from 7 years ago? That's tough to address. Let me make another example, and then I want to address both of them. Let's say you have soap, a bar of soap, and let's say it's the soap of Jack. I know this guy. I'm gonna call him Jack. Let's say it's the soap of Jack. After you use that soap one time, and just the outer sheen, the outer layer of that bar of soap is deteriorated and used up, is it still that same bar of soap, just with less matter to it and a different form? So less matter and a different form. It's hard to say that it's not. Intuitively, you would say, well, yes, it clearly is the same bar of soap. It's just used. But is it though? It is still a bar of soap, and this is also addressing the other example I gave. It is still a bar of soap. I am still a human being. I am still a creature. But is it the same bar of soap that was there before you used it? No, it is not the same bar of soap that was there before you used it. It is still a bar of soap. It is not Jack's bar of soap anymore. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I delusional? Yes. But let me know why.